Hi guys, this is the second tutorial in my Top View Space Fighter series. In this episode we're going to be adding enemies and how they shoot. I've just added an enemy, just made an enemy sprite. It's exactly the same as the player, except it's got a cross and it's a different colour. You want precise collision checking checked, and same as the other player, origin there. I've created a space background, which is just Saturn, Mars, Neptune, the Sun, that kind of stuff. And I duplicated the object laser and created enemy laser. It should have the create event already there. And in the create event, instead of saying mouse X, I've said obj player X. Instead of mouse Y, I've said obj player Y. That will just make the laser move to the player once it's been created. And we want to create a new object called enemy. You want to give it the enemy sprite, and sorry, I'm just trying to remember what I've done. I'm just copying a game I've made so I can tell you a tutorial. Oh yeah, create. Oh no, wait, sorry, change that to the step. You like in the play, you want it to point towards the mouse, but except in this, you want it to point towards the player. So just set image angle equals direction equals point direction X, Y, obj player dot X and obj player dot Y. Alright, so let's test it out. Oh yeah, in the room you just want to double the thing. So I'm just getting a calculator. I can't be bothered to work it out in my head. So you want that to be 248, and you want that to be 1000, so 1536. So you've just got a massive room. And go to backgrounds, and you want background to be BK space, and you want to stretch it. Yeah. So that's what it should look like. And there's your player. And now let's just add a few enemies to the room. And when we run the game, just let it compile. Oh, sorry, I forgot to enable the use of views. Yeah, so look, they all point towards me. Shoot, shoot. Alright, sorry, I just need to. You want to go to views and enable the use of views visible when room starts, and yeah, you don't want to change any of that, but you want to say player, and what do you actually want to, nah, don't bother. So when we run that, it should be a smaller port on the screen. and then I'll show you how to make that so it's just a bit smaller. I think it looks better. Yeah, that looks quite good. Shoot. Right, so now how to make enemies randomly spawn. You just want to delete all the enemies in the room. And just so that you can make them randomly spawn. You want to create a new object. I'm just going to call it controller. I'm not going to bother full name. And in the create event, you want to set a variable spawn equals let's say 180, and then alarm 0 equals spawn, because we're going to be using the alarm 0 quite often in this, and you all want it to be the same. I just think it's easier to have a variable, so you just need to change that and it changes all of it. And then in alarm 0, get out some code, say XP equals random. Sorry, I'm just not very good at spelling today. Random. Random room width, and then YP, which stands for Y position, equals random room height, and then say instance create. There are tons of algorithms on how to do this, but this is the easiest one I find. Well, this is my own algorithm actually. YP. So you want to put in the X and Y well, not the X and Y coordinates, you want it to be random. That's why you put in those, because we created the variables up there. And so obj enemy. Right. And then I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, and in the player, or enemy, in the create event, you want to say move towards point, obj player dot x. I'm just going to copy that, paste, and then just set that to y, and speed of 2. Because as you remember from last tutorial, our speed is 5, so you just want that to be 2. So this will make it random. This will make enemies chase you. Oh, and there's one thing I forgot in the controller. In alarm 0, you want to say, yeah, I said I was forgetting something, but no, I'm not. You want to say alarm 0 equals spawn. So it will keep spawning enemies every so often. Well, whatever spawn is. And let's test it out. So far we've got no collisions with the enemies, so they'll just follow. let's go find us some enemies. Come on, enemies, where are you? Oh, yep, I know why that's not working. I forgot to put the controller in the room. Just put it there. Now I know why it wasn't working. Yep, there's an enemy and it's following us. Later on in this tutorial I'll show you why we created an enemy laser. We're going to make them shoot. But they're all following me. That's kind of cool. Right, and just say where laser collision with enemy, destroy self, destroy other. So that will just destroy the enemies. So look. Another enemy to shoot. And you can increase them spawning by just setting the variable we created spawn to a lower value. That will make them spawn more. And then in laser before all of this, so just say effect create above kind EF explosion. Oh wait, why did I do that? And then X Y 1 C C red. And that'll, when the laser hits the enemies, it will just create an explosion and destroy the instances. And now to make the enemies shoot. And in the create event, set alarm 0. Oh, I've got the M. To equal random we'll say 180. Oh no, we'll say 120. And in alarm 0, just say instance create X Y obj enemy laser. Right, so let's test it. La-di-da-di-da, happily flying around. Look, and the enemy shot me. Yep, it's shooting me, they're shooting me. They only get one shot. Yep. And one thing you should do in the create event of the controller, just say randomize, so all the random things are actually random and they don't just follow a pattern. So so the enemies all shoot at totally different times now. Makes it a bit more fun. And as you can see, it creates a little explosion from that code we added. Ah, the enemy spawned right on top of me. And we'll get into the loads of enemies. I think I might increase that spawn variable to 210. So that's it for today. Next tutorial, I'm thinking of working on something like a menu, just so you can get a bit of a feel for that.